when they're running on the circuit here because they don't have any lights. But it's a way of showing that we did, again using flash on the car because there's no light. Here you could use a slower shutter speed and create more lines. But Le Mans was really the only place that we ever shot cars at night. So then we came to Singapore, which for us was obviously a new experience. This was actually taken last year. The first year in Singapore, it was pretty much all in dark, wasn't it? It was going into dusk for the first session. So we never really got to take any shots of your skyline. This was the main issue. TV have got such bright lenses and such bright sort of software within inside them. They will brighten up the subject to make it look good. It's not an issue for them. But with stills, you've got to come where if it goes dark and the buildings aren't well lit, you've got to come where you're exposing to the cars and the background should be dark. So luckily last year they brought the first section forward till 6 o'clock. So it doesn't go dark till about 7. So we have a 1 hour session, or a 1.5 hour session, certainly 1 hour where it's sort of daylight to going dark. Now there we can create photos that show your skyline. And this was what we were always after, because we want to show that skyline, we want to show the buildings. Yes, we want to show them at night as well, but we need to have both. Otherwise, your beautiful skyline which is created here, which is shown in this photo, is not shown in any pictures. And this was taken at the hotel, the Swiss Hotel, which we obviously got access to on the 54th floor. You can just see the car at the bottom of the frame, and you can see it's a Friday because there's not so many people in the grandstand on that back straight. But it's a great photo. The lights are already on the circuit, but at least you can see the skyscrapers. Keith's photo is quite a good story, isn't it? Your start photo from last year, from a different angle.
Over the past couple of years, I think because we've got 4 photographers on the ground, I've tried to get into positions where maybe you don't need a photo pass. In Monaco, in Valencia, and here in Singapore. So I want to shoot pictures that no one else is shooting, and to get these angles you've got to make contact with people and do some background to it all. And with this one, through a friend I met in the paddock, he knew the owner of the Singapore flag, and I said, would it be possible to come up at the start? And he said, yeah, you can come up in the VIP pod, which is fantastic because they timed the pod to lead to make sure that it was right at the top. It's a stop for the start of the race, so I was very fortunate to be able to get that shot.
I think it's great because it shows the Singapore sign, it shows the massive crowd that's obviously there for the race.
The year before, for the first year, I did some shots on the grid. Then I went over the bridge and I got onto this grandstand here. There was hospitality, for corporate hospitality. And I shot a really nice picture to start with the actual Singapore flyer in the background, which was very popular as well. So it's trying to get those pictures now. In Monaco, from the Hotel de Paris, from the terrace there, I was able to shoot the cars coming through Casino Square, just by knowing some people who have some corporate hospitality again. So trying to shoot these pictures where you don't necessarily have to be on the track. If you can get up high in buildings to show a different angle, that's what
this one's really nice. This is sort of, I'd say about 7 o'clock at night. Like I was saying in the first year, this is all we could shoot the first year because it literally is that dusk. 7 till 10. Dusk to dark, where you have the sun going down. You can see the car is beautifully lit, but the background, the sun setting in the background, creates a really lovely picture with the lights and everything. Obviously the typical start shot of the Singapore Bridge, pretty normal for, in terms of
you can shoot that high up there, or you can shoot it low down.
I mean, again, we're actually in the grandstand where the public is, so public down the first corner can get a very similar picture to what we shoot, which we're actually in the public area to what I was saying before about the sparks, we noticed on TV there was sparking on a particular corner circuit. I think it was turn 4 or 5. And basically, having seen that on TV in that first session, or second session, we then went out in qualifying when the cars were running on more fuel to make sure that, because when the cars were running more fuel, they're going to box out more. So one of our photographers went out, knew where the picture was. But again, you can see it's created more spark because it's shot at night. You wouldn't get that from the daylight.
And it's a slow shutter speed.
Yeah, it is slow as well to create more estimates. And then we're going to go through the pictures that Keith was talking about. Here's the one shot at 30th,
yeah? 30th of the second, like I said before, from the press room, through the window, and I shot the car coming in at a high shutter speed of about 250 before, but then I decided just to get some speed on things, just to go down to 30th, and then I just followed it through, and then of course I realised that the hose was still attached to the car, and I think he dragged it all the way down the pit lane and then it came off.
And I was still down the first corner, and basically shooting from the first corner on the 600, was able to shoot in when he stopped, and then on the mechanics plane, and trying to unhook the hose off. I got all the full sequence of that. So you can see how having lots of people on the circuit, not getting it from just one angle, but lots of different angles, can create great photos. And
if you look back at that, that's costing the World Championship.
Yeah.
You could say that, because obviously Lewis won the championship that year.
Exactly. And obviously, we went on before about the Nelson Piquet Jr. crash. And the fact this was actually the first frame of a sequence of shots of him walking out the car. This is when he deliberately hit the wall on purpose. God knows why, but anyway, he won Fernando Alonso the race, and the rest is history. But like he said, we didn't know the significance of this picture was, at the time, it was a crash shot, great. It got published in magazines. It was a year later that we sold the picture more, because then it went into the courts. It went everywhere, and it was literally a worldwide photo. But we didn't know that at the time. There was not a nothing picture, there was a nice crash sequence. But those sort of photos, you never know really, but anyway.
A lot of things we do in the paddock as well is we shoot pictures of everybody.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't even know we're shooting, because and we get the names later. If they look important, people that are talking to Bernie Eccleston, we're taking pictures of them. Because we don't know what's going to go on, and all of a sudden, this guy that was there, we'll find out, he owns Google or something, or he's going to come into Formula 1. Well, we'll have the picture of him, because we've spotted him. He was in Monza.
The CEO of Google was in Monza. Nobody else probably never knew, but I heard somebody say Google, and I thought, well, who is it? So I went to Google and had a look, and there's his name.
You wouldn't know what he looked like, but we used to take pictures of everybody.
Because we work for business magazines as well. Because Formula 1 is a big, huge business for sponsors and teams. And you've got these potential new sponsors that are going to sponsor Formula 1. So you've got to think outside the box as well. That if you can get introduced to that client, it could be a sponsor of yours. It could be a client of yours in the future. It's like a similar situation in Silverstone this year. For a friend of ours who had a stately home, they were looking for people to stay in a stately home. She came to the track one day and said, well, we've got people from Austin Grand Prix staying in the house. Oh, right. Oh, they're at the track. Yeah, they're at the track. Have you not seen them? No, not seen them. So then she gave us a little nod and said, oh yeah, they're in Bernie at the moment. So we went over to see inside Bernie's motorhome, took some photos, and actually one of the guys who runs it was a driver who raced in Bernie in Formula 3. In Formula 3,
British Formula 3. So he knew, he knew our name, he knew the company, and he was very friendly. And I managed to get a sort of exclusive photo shoot of him up on one of the motorhomes with the whole Formula 1 paddock in the background. But on this occasion, what we had to do with the picture, this exclusive picture, is we wouldn't release that picture until Sunday night, until he left the circuit. Everybody had gone and all the other photos had gone. Because if we'd have put that on the website, that picture, on the Friday, everyone would have seen it. And unfortunately, all the other photographers would have been trying to track him down. So sometimes we've got to be a bit discreet.
Yeah.
It's a very competitive world out there.
And then we talked before